Hi everyone, it's Miss Fernandez. We are reaching the end of our chapter. Today we are going to be learning that rectangles can be partitioned into equal size squares. That means that you can count the squares to describe its size. So in this square, you can see that it was partitioned into 8 different squares, but all the squares are equal. So in order to describe this square, we can say it is 8 squares, and this one is 12 squares. For your work today, you'll be counting up how many squares that describe how many squares will describe the size of the bigger squares. So I'm sure you can do that. Here, you will be dragging over these squares into the shape and trying to count how many were used. And you will put your answer there. So here we have a word problem. And I have made little dominoes so that you can make a picture if you want. If not, you can draw it on your paper. I just think it's easier to be able to see the problem rather than just read it and think about it. So if you want to use them, you can. If not, show your work on a piece of paper. And here, the same thing. I made little crackers there, and you can line them up on this tray. So let's do a couple examples. William and Joshua have chips. William has 3 chips in each row. He made 4 rows. Joshua places 5 chips in each row. He made 3 rows. Who has more chips? So here we are trying to find out who has more chips, right? So I think it's easiest to draw a picture. So let's go here and put a big W for William and a J for Joshua. And we can see that William has 3 chips in each row. And he made 4 rows. So I'm going to make 4 rows. Those are his 4 rows, and he put 3 chips inside of each row. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now, this is very similar as to one of these rectangles, right? You can see that there are the rows, and each square could be considered a row. Here I'm not making squares, I'm just making dots, but that is another way of doing it. Joshua, however, how many does he have? He placed 5 chips in each row, and he only made 3 rows. So let's see, let's make his 3 rows, and he puts 5 in them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now all we got to do is count them. So we have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. William has 12 chips. Joshua has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 15 chips. So let's go back and answer our question. Who has more chips? Joshua has more chips. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. All you got to do is draw a picture and the problems become much more simple. Next example is Mercy was planting flowers in her garden. She planted 3 rows of flowers. There were 16 plants in all. How many plants were in each column? So this problem is very similar to the top problem, but they are making sure that you know your vocabulary. So, they're making sure that you know the difference between rows and columns. We've talked about this before in the classroom, but remember, column is when you're going down, and a row is going side to side. So when you have, let's say we had a box, and we go, so when you have a box like this, the rows, let me change colors, or let's go with column. The columns go down. So column, they are these ones that go straight down. And then your rows go sideways. So you need to try and remember that columns always go down, and the way I remember it is by remembering that column has an L, and so then just remember that the L reminds you to go down, and rows does not have an L, so you just go across. All right? Right now, it's not a big deal, but in 3rd grade, this is going to be a very big deal. You are going to be making arrays, and you're going to have to know the difference between a column and a row. So this is helping you learn that difference in this problem. So let's go back to our problem. Mercy was planting flowers in her garden. She planted 3 rows. So rows means that they have to go across. So let me say rows. And I know she has 3. So there are 3 rows. And then we know that there are 16 plants in all. So I need to know how many were in each column going down. So I'm just going to put a little flower in each, going equally, because remember, they have to be equal. So let's see. We're going to count all the way up to 16. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, and I'm going to have one left over. Okay, that problem is wrong. We're going to do 15 flowers, not 16. So then we can count up how many is in each column. So if we have 3 rows, how many were in each column? 1, 2, well, there were 3 in each columns, but how many columns were there in order? So we can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns that are going down. And she put how many in each column? She put 3 in each column. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, we will go over it again next week.